Welcome back to GameScoop. In just a moment, we're going to be discussing our biggest game design pet peeves. You okay?
Yeah. I want to make sure I got all the junk out of my eyes. You ever feel like you got the junk in your eyes?
Well,
not conjunctivitis.
I don't know what conjunctivitis
Pink
is.
eye.
Oh, okay. Well,
Open a science book.
Is that the real term?
Yeah.
Wow.
why don't they just,
Shows that we know, Damon.
well, let's call it pink eye.
You guys were too busy skateboarding back in the day to learn.
Skateboarders never get
Skate or die. Before we talk about gaming pet peeves, Mitch was just at an event seeing Gears of War Judgment, which we've just recently realized is our readers, or at least one of our readers, most anticipated games.
Just one.
Of next
You have
year.
one
One
reader.
reader.
Cliff Blazinski.
Big IGN fan. Not ready to talk about the game yet.
Can't talk yet.
Your preview will be up
Soon.
sometime
Soon.
in the nearish future.
Soon.
But you can tell us about the barbecue that was served at the event.
Yeah.
This all stems from Twitter. You were twit
Yeah.
So
picking.
I tweet picked, Twitter peeked
Yeah.
a photo of the
Twin
menu.
Twin Peaked.
Twin Peaked. Oh man, let's watch Twin Peaks.
Let's just talk about. Can we just talk about
Yes.
we're hijacking Game Scoop?
Right.
Damon is
Wrapped in
Twin
a
Peaks
bag.
Scoop now. No, so what grabbed my attention about this is that you were in North Carolina.
Yeah.
And you did the barbecue there.
Yeah.
And so obviously they know what they're doing.
Well, and it was called heart disease. Like they were. It wasn't,
Yeah, they made an event out of the barbecue. It was Microsoft and Epic Games present Heart Disease.
Epic Games is in North Carolina.
North Carolina. Yep, they're in Cary, North Carolina. And we thought, oh, that's cute. We saw the menu and we realized, like, oh, this is a lot of food. And then we realized that the options on the food menu were not, you know, chicken or potatoes. It was chicken and potatoes and this and this and this.
They're not ors, they're ands.
No, the South does not mess around. Like, they give you just like fried chicken and fried vegetables and bread balls and biscuits.
Did you get corn on the cob?
No corn on the cob. We got cornbread.
Sorted out North Carolina barbecue.
And it was called For a Heart Attack.
Heart
right? Or
disease.
Heart
Heart
disease.
Heart
Yes.
disease.
That was the event
I love
at the
barbecue.
restaurant. I have no idea what the restaurant was. Okay. Cannot recall.
Best barbecue I ever had. Austin, Texas, when I went down to see DC
Yeah.
Universe Online.
That's a really good
Texas
choice.
has-
yeah, yeah.
Like a Tiger's just there, eating barbecue all day long.
And he goes, he does his sit-ups the whole way to work. Though, so he loses all the weight.
Is that how you get to work?
No.
What's so,
I eat more.
In Austin, Texas, I had barbecue. I think it's a chain. Maybe you can tell me where you order the meat by like the pound. Like I want 1 pound of barbecue,
Yeah.
and they give it to you, and then there's just loaves of bread on the
Yeah,
table.
yeah, that's
Oh
a
my
big
God.
thing. And did you get the meat on the wax paper?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big thing too. It's so good. Damien, let's just quit IGN and go open a barbecue like that around
Go to the South.
Around here, you know?
here. Yeah, we kill.
Yeah, we would kill. One of our viewers, Kizaru, writes in with a question. Just wondering what your biggest game design pet peeves of this generation are. Let Kizaru finish speaking
He's not
first.
done yet, Mitch.
Also, you don't really need to raise hands. on
Hello,
game.
Damon. Can I speak?
Mitch.
Personally, I hate anything that allows me to see through walls, something that was no doubt brought about by the mainstreaming of video games.
Mainstream.
What?
I hate it when video games went mainstream, man.
I was with you, Kizaru, until
Mainstreaming?
yeah.
So wait, you guys,
I hate it when video games sell out and let you see through walls.
during our pre-interview, our pre-GameScoop interview, you guys voiced support for this pet peeve.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
get it. Like, so let's give an example first. Are we talking about
Resistance.
like detective mode in
Yeah.
Batman?
So
Oh.
that's like the go-to
Oh.
one, right? Because with Arkham Asylum, the issue is that you could see through walls, and that was how you spent the entire game. Was you relied on it so much.
Because it was superior. Like there was
Right.
no reason to not have it
Exactly.
I mean, and that's a flaw.
Not
Well, yeah, I
necessarily
mean, I
a
think
flaw,
I-
but it is irritating. Like something like
Yeah,
Dishonored,
it's
which
like
is
were
well with
reviewed very
Dishonored,
well.
like Dishonored, you have this game with the P filter on. That's what I call
a
it.
pee filter.
Well, everything turns like orangish, yellow.
Oh, I thought you meant like Corvo had to pee really bad.
It's just like Batman. It's the same deal. Where when you have it on, when you have the what's the vision called? The shadow vision.
Dark,
he can
dark
Dishonored
vision.
shadow vision.
whatever it's called. He can see.
I think it's dark
You
vision.
can see
Shadowed.
the cones of it. Like you can see enemies through walls. You can see
It's
the
a
cones
fairly
of vision.
common technique. Assassin's Creed does something
Hitman has
similar.
something as well.
So, but the issue is
Eagle
other
vision.
other games
Eagle vision.
balance things out or limit. Like you don't
Yes.
want to leave it on all the time.
Yes. Yeah.
But in Dishonored, like there was no reason to never not
In
use it.
Dishonored, you're talking about Batman.
And Dishonored.
They function very similar.
In Dishonored, you have a limited amount of time you can
Yes,
use it.
but if you upgrade
then
it, it's basically
Yeah,
limitless.
exactly. Like then you can just leave it on all
I mean,
the time.
it's a great feature, right? Like it lets you explore the world and have these encounters in ways you would not normally. But in the case of Dishonored, you want to do that because you're in first person, your view is limited. But for me, what I love doing is peeking around corners and like relying on my own senses
Yeah.
to figure out where guys were, while having the supernatural ability to get around and to take advantage of people and or like to possess them and stuff. Looking through walls felt like a cheat, like just a flat
And
out
just,
cheat.
you don't have to use that feature.
Sure, absolutely. And for the most part, I tried to avoid using it. But
Interesting pet peeve, I think.
When I read this question, I thought they meant like clipping through walls, like swinging the camera, like glitching through a wall. And I'm like, mainstreaming? What are you talking about?
Mainstream people love to glitch through walls.
I apologize, Kizaru. That makes a lot more sense now.
Yeah, well, I would have a problem with the glitching through walls.
Yeah.
I don't know what he means, the mainstreaming of video games.
Dumbing them down so it's more accessible to the mainstream, to like casual gamers, your Halos, your people who are only picking up Halo, Modern Warfare,
I feel like those are pretty hardcore games.
I know. I feel like Call of Duty is a pretty hard game.
You can see through walls.
I'm just throwing out mainstream games that people do buy systems for and only buy 1 or 2 games a year.
The Far Sight and Perfect Dark. You can see through walls with that.
Shoot through walls.
The Augur and Resistance, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Maybe removing RPG elements from Mass Effect. That'd be considered
Is that a pet
mainstream.
peeve?
I'm just wondering if that's mainstream.
I think so. Yeah, it got it going quicker, right? Because you
got it going quicker.
In Mass Effect 1, you were encouraged to talk to people. You got XP for doing that. In Mass Effect 2, they're like, nope, don't worry about that.
yeah.
And then Mass Effect 3 is like, just
Your
run down the hallway.
better now.
Just run down the hallway and you'll get missions. Like, all right, great.
We, I think Oblivion to Skyrim
That's a stern
is a
look
good
that
example.
Damon just gave Justin. That was
All right, dude, should I stop?
No, it's like, what do you?
No,
What do you have to say? What the hell's so important?
Oblivion to Skyrim was a good example of mainstreaming because the armor limitations. Like you would only have, like you just put on light armor and you wear it. Like there's not different really, like you're not putting on gloves and boots and greaves and gauntlets. And
in Skyrim?
There was a few slots, but like each game has like less armor slots and equipment slots than the game before.
I see. Mitch, you were eager to share your pet peeve.
Yeah, so I don't know, maybe I'm misinterpreting the question, but my least favorite thing about video games right now is arbitrary choices at the end of a video game that is not about choices. Or if it is about choices, I hate making one decision at the end of the game that has no bearing on anything I've done up to that point.
For example?
Deus Ex Human Revolution, Far Cry 3. Like Far Cry 3 is a game that does not have choices whatsoever. Until the very end, the last thing you do is left click or right click to make a decision. You pick one or the other. And Human Revolution had the same thing. Fable.
What would you do? Left click or right click? Get the hell out of here with your tower, you nerd. Xbox.
What are you talking about?
You just involved Damon in something. That you
I'm saying he's playing with a mouse and keyboard, like a loser over there in his mom's basement.
Okay. I got you.
My
I also really like your
basement's far
comments on Levi's status update over the weekend.
Should we now explain that?
Please do, because I'm confused.
Everyone here should be following.
Former IGNer Levi Buchanan Facebooked a photo of him going in to see Lincoln. And what it was
really like spending a few hours catching up on a civil war that matters. Something like that.
And my response was, how's the view from your ivory tower, Levi?
Yeah. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
so
I mean, Human Revolution had the same thing, where you had this whole game was engineered around choices and like becoming a different kind of guy based on how you interact with people and the choices you made and the upgrades you took. And the last thing you do is pick one of 4 shitty endings.
Yeah.
Where the ending is just like Adam Jensen saying, "Oh, the things were hard, and I made some hard choices, and I picked the one that was dumb."
That's a good voice.
Thank you. I don't know. It just feels it sucks the wind out of my sails when everything I have done up until the end feels like it matters, and the ending has no bearing on what I've done. There's no consequences. There's no after effect. It's just like pick your dumb ending and roll credits.
So was this the same for you with Mass Effect 3? Because Mass Effect 3, the argument obviously was that no matter what you picked, they were all pretty much the same.
They're all fairly similar, yeah. But maybe that's why I was less offended by it, because they were very similar. But when I played it, I didn't know that, right? Obviously,
right.
I picked one of the 3 or 4 endings, and I saw the effect. Like what mattered about that was I saw what happened. I saw the after effects.
Sure.
More so than someone saying, "Oh, and then the world was saved, or the world ended," or whatever.
Gotcha,
I got to see these people, and I got to see the landing on the planet, and I got to see the people come out of the ship, and all of that stuff. I like being able. I like that closure, the kind of falling action.
What did you think of Call of Duty? And I guess spoiler free since that's a newer game.
Yeah, I play Call of Duty, and I liked the
Black Ops 2.
Black Ops 2. I'm not going to spoil it.
What did you think of Call of Duty 1's choice at the end of PS1?
Yeah, I mean, I like the choices in that. It brought something new to Call of Duty, but I didn't feel like the end had one, like, oh, which are you going to do? Because everything has that kind of moment, right? And in Black Ops 2, I felt like the choices were more subtle than X or B. Pick which one you want. And there were those moments, yeah, but there was a lot of subtlety, and there wasn't one at the very end that was like, okay, which ending do you want? Do you want the good ending or the bad ending?
Oh, really? I thought there was with the whole thing. Because I haven't gone. Yeah, I haven't gone back to watch the alternate ending to what my final decision was.
Yeah, but it's not clear. I mean, both endings are kind of bleak. Both are kind of bleak.
I need to get on the IGN wiki, just like you should, and I'll find out all about it.
I think developers have a hard time ending games in general.
I agree.
Sure. Very rarely do I think an ending of the game is really impressive or something.
I will say, as much as I hate the right trigger, left trigger for Far Cry 3, welcome, Greg.
Thanks.
just picking one of those endings was picking one of those endings feels kind of weird in that context because you're not making choices the whole time, and it's suddenly like, what do you want to do? Both those endings are pretty good. They're pretty good endings.
Justin, what's your game design pet peeve of this generation?
Flipping through walls.
The mainstreaming of gaming.
Yeah, obviously. No, it's not really a game design thing, but like my personal pet peeve when I'm playing games is like I'll start on one platform and then maybe want to move to a different one, but then there's no real, like I started Walking Dead on PC, picked it up on iPad.
I was thinking of a platforming game where like
jumping from
this.
platform to platform. No, like it's annoying that like if you start a game, I started Dragon Age on Xbox, then pick that up on my PC, but then I had to start it all over.
Why do you have no dedication to a platform then? Why can't you just like I started on 360, I'll continue.
I feel like you're just indecisive, and we need to
take
this to somebody to talk about it.
I think I wish we got to a point where like there was one like
Cloud
game
save.
save standard across platform. Like I want like an armistice or an amnesty between like Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo and be like, okay, look, like we can have all these other differences between our consoles, but like you can take your save from one platform to the other.
With platforms within the platforms, right? Like with Steam, we had that with Portal 2, where you buy it on PS3, you got the PC copy, you could bounce between them. You had the joint save. With Origin and EA, I feel like there's no reason we can't do that. Why can't we have an Origin save?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing, yeah.
It really bugged me.
EA could save your game on their side.
Yeah.
And then no matter what your platform, they could
That's
access
awesome.
it.
My
I mean, stuff
Battlefield
like that's
characters
great.
are different. Like when I play on 360 with my 360 friends, I don't have the stuff that I have unlocked on PC because I've been playing on PC longer. Because PCs are awesome, Greg.
Yeah.
Sure they are.
I mean,
your mouth.
games are more about progress.
How's your drivers looking?
They're great. They're totally up to date.
For now.
The worst thing in the world is when you go to shut down your PC and it's got that little exclamation point. Oh, great, 19 updates for this fucking thing.
Do it overnight. It's not.
Yeah, I feel bad that I've
fucking
lost
guy.
that leverage over the years because it used to be like every time you turn on your PS3 you had a firmware update, but now it's every time I turn on my Xbox, every time I'm going back to my HBO Go app, well, I have to update that app now. It's like
the Wii,
That
like you
leverage
open
over
it.
me. Like
I
we
used
would-
to have that
like
over
we would
you.
argue all the time about this crap.
It's such a
now
that's
it's
a
about-
disappointing. That's my least favorite thing about video games right now. I take it all back. Goddamn updates
Updates.
every time I put in a.
updates.
Gotta update my games. Gotta update my apps. Gotta update my firmware.
Yeah.
I like the
updates,
idea
man.
that you can make things more stable. I like
Sure.
the idea that something's wrong, we can fix it now, but it is kind of ridiculous on everything we try to do.
Greg, your pet peeve.
Forced functionality. I mean,
Forced functionality.
you see it a little bit right now with Wii U stuff, definitely with the launch wave of Vita games, like, oh, it's Uncharted and everything's going great, but now to punch him, please swipe the screen and swipe up, and it's like, fuck you, this is totally pulling me out of the experience. This isn't what I want. You saw a lot of it right when Move launched. You saw a lot of it when 6-Axis came out for the
Better
first
with
time.
Connect.
Yeah, better
Except
with Connect.
not
yeah.
ever. Never.
Yeah. So that's similar to what one of the things I was going to say was motion controls. Just in
Sure.
general. Motion
Yeah, yeah.
controls are I just don't ever want to use motion controls.
Yeah.
Ever. And I was going to say that I think like Microsoft and Sony have kind of learned by now
Sure, yeah.
that gamers of our ilk aren't interested in doing that because Halo 4 just came out and there's no Kinect functionality.
But there was with the last Halo game when
Yeah.
they did the anniversary edition, where
Yes.
it's like you could like yell grenade or whatever,
Yeah,
and it would throw a
exactly.
grenade. Like,
even as
what are you
recent
doing?
as Mass Effect 3, I think they were doing
Ugh.
some Kinect stuff. But I think they've figured out by now there's just two different audiences. They're not going to try and force Kinect stuff into those hardcore games.
Which is why it's going to be interesting with the next Xbox and the next PS3 or 4 or whatever. What are they going to do?
Well, there are games next year that are coming out that we know have Kinect functionality. I mean, announcements to come, but there are like it's not going away. Hardcore
Sure.
games
Oh,
that
yeah,
we
yeah,
all
yeah.
want to play will have Kinect functionality that we don't care about.
Well, I mean, remember that was the big thing when Ken Levine came out 2 E3s ago and talked about BioShock Infinite, right? And he's like, and also,
Yeah.
we got one of these PlayStation moves.
Yeah,
And
nothing
we're
ever-
thinking about doing stuff with it. He's like, all right.
Was
Like,
it the Move or was it the Vita?
It was Move and Vita.
Oh, it's
He
both.
came out and talked about it, and then he pulled out a Vita, and he's like, oh yeah, we're thinking about doing
What's
something.
going on with that Vita version?
I don't know. Hopefully we'll find out soon.
Can we wait for that one until we find out what's going on with that real version?
Yeah.
Let's get one of them out the door before we start talking about the next one.
That'd be great.
For sure.
Let's try to get at least one more question.
That was a good question, though.
That was
Yeah.
good.
Really good one.
I enjoyed that.
Kizaru.
Kizaru.
It's from Ryan Mulqueen. What is your go-to game when you are bored? Ryan, I am never bored. Ever. There are
I
so
can't be
When
true.
Damon's bored, he
There's-
looks in a mirror and he's just like, oh yeah.
there's so many games to play. There's so much music to listen to. There's so much music to make. There's so many TV shows to watch. There's so many movies to watch. There's so many friends to hang out with. There's so many beers to drink. There's so much bourbon to drink. Like, no, I'm never, ever bored. Ever. There's so much porn to watch.
Wow.
This is true.
Right?
Man, now I feel bad that I have an answer.
What's your answer?
Super Hexagon. Justin and I were just talking about this. Like that game is Super Hexagon for the iPhone, now available for PC as well, is like just this, something about it just makes me happy. And it's always, I don't know, I mean, I've played through that game, not through, because it's goddamn impossible, but like it's something that I've played for hours and hours, like probably 10 hours at this point. And it's a game that lasts, rounds of Super Hexagon last like 10 seconds.
Yeah, you're doing great if you make it to 20 seconds.
Right,
That's like incredible.
It's just so hard. It's very simple. It's just it's not even a rhythm game, but it is musical, and you're just tapping left or right to spin clockwise or counterclockwise out of the way of these objects that are just constantly coming at you.
It's really zen, and it's very...
it's hypnotic and relaxing, and at the same time super tense and fun.
You'll lose hours of your life in 5-second chunks.
Yeah,
for sure.
On the way to Tokyo, Damon, I played that game for like 9 hours.
And I had...
It was great. I played it for a long time on that flight.
I freaked somebody out. This is the only time, so I play mobile games every single day on the San Francisco Muni. Every day. And the only time someone's ever said something to me was when I was playing Super Hexagon. This guy was like, whoa. Like, I made it really...
He didn't know the game, or...
No, he didn't know it. I made it really far.
It's because it looks like an acid trip.
I made it really far, and when I died, he's like, that was amazing.
That's awesome.
Super Hexagon's good. My choice would just be, I mean, I'm a little biased, but mobile games in general. Like, I have a phone and a tablet full of, you know, these sort of bite-sized, snacky games. And it's like, if I get bored of one, like if I'm tired of Angry Birds, I can do Super Hexagon. If I'm tired of that, I can do Punch Quest, Funky Smugglers. Like, there's all these really good, sort of cool time wasters, time killers.
Today, the Hoth levels are out for Angry Birds.
I need to get Angry Birds Star Wars.
It's good.
It's so good.
Yeah. It looks awesome.
I love it. Do you have anything to add there, Greg? Or?
Not really. I think for me, it's more of a flavor of the month kind of thing of what I want to be playing at that moment. Like, you know, there's not like one game I go back to all the time. Like, you know.
Do you have one that like you can always go back to and never be bored? Like for me, I can jump into Far Cry 2 and be like, all right, this is going to be an amazing experience for me every single time I play it.
Yeah, that's almost. I guess this isn't exactly what he was asking. Sorry, but I think I'd like to get your opinion on if you have like a game that's like a constant in your life.
Sure. I mean, like for me,
what's your lost constant?
When there's been days where like if I'm have we all had this? Maybe not Damon. He doesn't get bored. But like where you're like, I want to play something, and you sit there in front of your games and you look through it, and you're like, what do I want to play? Like
there's too many choices.
You're standing in front of the fridge.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing's jumping out.
I'm spoiled for choice. I have 300 Steam games, and I look at them, I'm just like,
None of these
today. For me, it's one of those things I'll put Infamous in again and play that over and over again.
1 or 2?
1.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I haven't been bored to that level, I guess, in a while. Maybe it'd be Infamous 2 now, but it would still be Infamous 1.
Wow.
Go back, see Trish, see what's up with her.
This one kind of sucks.
But then like, no, you kind of suck. Shut up. Sorry, I didn't have left click, right click. All right. Yeah, buddies. And then also, I mean, I'm still a big DC Universe Online fan, and but I want hours on top of hours to play DC.
You figure out a way to work that into every not even every game scoop.
I'll tell you right now, I'm planning a vacation in January where I'm going to try to take a week off just to chill, and I expect to platinum DC Universe Online, and I may just make
the
call.
You never platinumed it?
No,
it's impossible.
No, it's not impossible. It's actually really easy, but it's just a huge time suck. And the problem was that when I got, what you're supposed to do is like, you know, this is before I was an MMO player. Because now I'm a big
Greg loves his left click, right click.
I'm a big DC Universe player. Can we say that at least? So when you look at the trophy list, I thought, oh, you know, the trophies are all like, you know, get your, you know, whatever character to level 30. And I was like, oh, well, that'll be easy. And so I did that with my characters, but then I wanted to go play, you know, the after game and the raids and do all this. So Taylor Swift didn't end at 30. She kept going for literally another 50 hours of me doing raids and quests and stuff with her. So now I need to assemble a team to go through level 30, like 4 more characters, and just stop. We can't go through and raid.
That's too much.
I'm curious to hear, Damon, you're looking like you're ready to move on.
We got to wrap up this episode, but it's, you know, we're okay.
I just wanted to hear your constant games, like the games that are like a part of your life.
I did have something to say. The Disgaea, I can always return to. Because you can just go into the item worlds and level grind forever.
Yeah,
but a current generation game that I can always put in and have fun with is Just Cause 2.
Oh, that's
that island is just so fun just to run around in.
When that game goes on sale on Steam, buy it, because it's like $2. It's on sale every time there's a Steam sale. It's like $2.
Speaking of sales, we should probably mention that THQ, Humble Bundle?
Yeah, humblebundle.com.
It's amazing for what, $5.99?
$5-6.
That's only if you want Saints Row. You can pay $1 and get the rest of them.
Yeah. What other games are there?
Metro 2033, Saints Row the Third, Company of Heroes. Is it all of them or just Company of Heroes?
Company of Heroes, and it's expansions.
Okay, so there's 2 expansions.
Darksiders.
All of these games are amazing, except maybe Darksiders.
And you can pay whatever you want and get it.
I liked the first Darksiders.
It's okay.
A lot.
I don't
know if it's amazing either, but I like that game a lot, and it's worth $1.
It's worth it.
You may remember a couple weeks ago, we were going to give away this Best Buy gift card.
Ooh, thank you.
We asked, no, you didn't win.
Oh.
We asked viewers to send in their best video game GIF. Got a lot of entries. The winner, I think, comes from Cody Rostron, who sent in this GIF. Isn't that great?
Oh my god!
I loved it. I had so much fun watching the
video
thing do the
entertaining.
things.
Gifting with the animations.
Look at that.
Cody gave me his email or his address, so I will drop this in the mail for you right now. So you see, viewers, watching GameScoop literally pays.